Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. So in today's video you are going to be watching me prep my meals. And after watching this video, if you think you are motivated, you can go on ahead and do yours, or you can grab one or two recipes from this video and add to what you already have, because in this video we are going to be making some eforiro, we are going to be making some peppered turkey, some vegetable stir fries, and coconut brown rice. Yes, a lot is going on in this video, so you might as well grab your seat, watch and enjoy this video, and please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Here are all the ingredients I'll be using for my meal prep today, and as you can see, they are already set and ready to go because I prepped them last night. So this morning it was much easier for me. I don't have to cut, I don't have to slice, I don't have to chop. And my kitchen is also ready to go because I like to have more space when I'm making large meals like this. So you might as well prep yours a night before. It comes in very handy. So let's get cooking. In a pot, I'm going to be throwing in the turkey. I'm going to be adding some seasoning powder. You already saw the seasoning powder I added. That's adobo seasoning and it's MSG free. And now I'm going to be adding my ariosto. This one is for cooking chicken, steak, turkey, any meat at all. They have the one for fish, so in case you're wondering. I added some thyme as well. I'm going to be adding some garlic powder. Like, I love the taste of garlic powder when you use it to steam the meat. I'm also going to be adding some salt, not too much because the ariosto already have some salt in it. I'm going to be throwing in some chopped onion. I'm going to be using this onion throughout my cooking, so I don't want to add everything all at once, just a little bit. I'm not a fan of onion, okay, in case you are not aware, so you know now. So just a little bit of the onion. I added some water, just about the level of the turkey. I'm going to give it a quick stir. I'll cover and let it cook. Now, while the meat is cooking, we're going to go ahead to blend up the some of the vegetables, and in this bowl I have some bell peppers, some tomatoes, some onion, and some scotch bonnet pepper. So I'm going to be adding just a little of those in the blender, but I'll be adding 3 scotch bonnets because we are making peppered turkey, so you want it to be spicy enough. But if you're not a fan of spicy food, you can remove some of the scotch bonnet because those are the ones that are very spicy and hot. Then add a tiny bit of water just to help the stuff in the blender to blend well, but we are not blending it to be so smooth. You can see how roughly blended they are. That's exactly the texture you should be going for. Now, in a saucepan, I'm going to be adding some coconut oil. We are trying to keep this meal as healthy as possible, so that's why I'm going for coconut oil. And once the oil heats up, I went ahead to add the blended mix, and I'm going to keep stir frying this for about 5 minutes or thereabout. So while that is still on fire, we are going to go back to the veggies and blend all of them. This time around I'm blending everything, and this one we are going to be using it for our eforiro. Okay, if you don't know what eforiro is, it's basically vegetable soup or stew. So I added some water again just to help the blender to function well, because this blender is becoming weaker every day by day. I guess I use it a lot. Anyways, after blending, I set that aside and I'm going to be washing my rice. This is the rice I'm using. This is brown rice, brown basmati rice. I ordered this one from Amazon. I'm going to try and insert a picture or a short clip of what it looks like in the pack. So if you want, you can go on Amazon and order yours if you like it at the end of the cooking. So I added 2.5 cups and poured some water, and as you can see, obviously some hot water. Okay. I added some hot water and I'm going to let it sit there for some minutes. Then I went back to my pot to check on it, just to prevent it from burning, because we don't want to eat burnt food, right? Okay, so now I'm adding some of the adobo seasoning. I'm going to be adding some thyme as well. I'm also going to be adding the arios to all these things. I'm just adding a very little of those, not too much. I'm also adding some garlic powder, and you can feel free to add any spices of your choice. It doesn't have to be what you are seeing in this video, but if you want, you can use what I use to get the exact taste I got. I added some paprika, I added some curry powder, and I'm adding some salt. Going to mix everything in. So now I realized that the sauce was very thick in consistency, so I went ahead to add some of the meat stock, just a little from the turkey that is cooking by the side. I stole some stock from there and added to the sauce. You can add water if you want, just normal water. So after mixing and getting the right consistency that I want, I went ahead to throw in the turkey, and I'm going to be mixing it in, making sure that the turkey is well coated in the sauce. Now I'm going to cover it and let it cook, fry, whatever you call it, for about 2 to 3 minutes, and it's done. It's done. So here is the stock I got from cooking the meat. It's not a lot, but we are going to be adding more water to that. So I'm going to be adding my coconut milk. You can use any brand of your choice, but make sure you use coconut milk, or you can just cook it with water. It's fine. And I added some water. Now I'm adding some curry powder. I'm going to be adding the adobo seasoning. I'm going to be adding just a tablespoon of the coconut oil. I want it to taste really coconutty. Hey, Oyibo, English. I'll be adding some salt, and then I'll be pouring in more water. So back to our turkey. I'm going to check on it, mix it in, and it's done. It didn't even take much time, I'm telling you. Look at that. Hey! Looking at this video now, I just want to grab one from the screen. Oh my goodness. So back to the rice. We are going to be washing it thoroughly. So one thing I noticed about brown rice, and mind you, this is my very first time making brown rice in this house. Hey, and I've never tasted it before. So the tasting and the cooking and everything is all new to me. So one thing I noticed about it is that it doesn't have any starch at all. You saw how the water was looking, but if it was brown white rice, by this time you will see the water all white and cloudy. So I guess that is why they say it's more healthier than white rice. I don't know. Anyways, I've just added the rice in the pot. This is what it looks like. Just give it a stir, taste it, and make sure that your ingredients are well balanced. So mine was missing some salt, so I went on ahead to add just a little bit more salt, and I'm going to cover it and let it cook until it's soft enough. So now I'm transferring the turkey into a bowl because I'm going to be using that saucepan to make my eforiro. Oh no, my stir fry first before the eforiro. Look at that. Hey. In that same pot or pan, I'm going to be adding in about 2 tablespoons of the coconut oil. Once the oil heats up, I'll go ahead and add some onion, just a little bit again, because I don't like too much onions. So I'm going to be adding in my bell peppers, and here you can see I have some yellow, red and green bell peppers, and this combination makes it look more beautiful. Like, look at that. I don't know, I am so loving the color. So I covered it to let it cook down for a bit, maybe like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and maximum of 5 minutes. You don't even have to leave it to cook for up to 5 minutes, because by the time we are done adding other vegetables, it would have been very soft. So I will advise to leave it for 2 to 3 minutes at max. Then I went ahead to add my carrots and broccoli, which I just took out from the freezer, and I prepped that myself. If you haven't seen the video, I'm going to be leaving it in the description of this video. So after watching this one, you can go and click on it to see how I prepped the broccoli and the carrots. So now I'm going to be adding my adobo seasoning. I'll be adding some salt, just a tiny bit of salt, and I'll be adding my sliced or shredded cabbage. All of these things, like I said before, I prepped them last night. So you see how easy everything is. I'm just throwing them in one after the other, and I'm loving the the fast walk here. I don't have to be cutting and shopping all over again. So please, I will advise you again, prep your vegetables a night before the day you will be making the actual meal. So now I'm just going to be adding in some oyster sauce. You guys, if you have oyster sauce, don't fail to add it to this. Like, the taste, the flavor, the texture you will see is out of this world. So after adding the oyster sauce, I mixed it in a bit for like 2 minutes, and voila, it's done. I just transferred it in a bowl so that it will stop the cooking process, and again we are still going to be using that pot, So I'm just adding some spring onion. I forgot to add it earlier, guys, so please remember to add yours. I added the spring onion, mixed it in a bit, but it was still fine. Sometimes we use spring onion to garnish our food, isn't it? So back to the rice, I added some of the spring onions as well, just to give it more flavor, and at this time the rice is done. It is time to make the eforiro. So before we get started with the eforiro, I'm going to be soaking my dry fish in a hot water. This is dry fish fillet, dried fish fillet, full n'okwu nke a dị too much. Anyways, I'm just going to pour in some hot water and I'm going to let it sit there. Now to my pot, that same pot, we are not washing anything away because we still want the flavor that is taparala in the pot. We still want the flavor that is still sticking in the pan to get into our eforiro. So I added some palm oil. If you don't like palm oil, you can use coconut oil, but you are not going to get that local authentic flavor of eforiro soup. So if you have palm oil, make sure you use it. And then once the oil heats up, I went ahead to add some of the onion. Like, that's the last part of the onion that I added. I poured in the blended mix. You remember when we blended the pepper, the tomato, the onion? Yeah, I poured it in. I added my cow skin. You can see how tiny I sliced them because I want, when I'll be eating the soup with my fufu, I'll just be, grabbing the the chopped or diced cow skin and be chewing it. Like, you get, did you understand that? So I covered it and let it cool, boil down for 10 minutes. And now I'm going to be adding my dried fish fillet. I'm going to mix it in. And here comes my shrimp. I love shrimp, you guys. I love shrimp so much. So I'm going to be adding this. I prepped it last night. I removed the shell. I removed the veins. Everything was done last night. Like, it took me 2 hours. I was standing for more than 2 hours prepping all of this. It was not easy, but it was worth it in the end. And what you saw me add was some leftover mushroom that I took out from my freezer. Don't mind the way it was looking. That's because the ice in it has melted down. Yeah, so I added some of the adobo seasoning again. I added some salt and I'm going to mix everything till they are well incorporated. Of course, I'm going to taste it to make sure that all my ingredients are well balanced. And here comes our veggies. I'm going to be adding my spinach, and in this bowl I have fresh and frozen spinach. The fresh ones were sitting at the bottom of the bowl and the frozen ones were on top. So if you look clearly, you will see that I have some fresh spinach there. The frozen one has, weighed the fresh one down, so that's why they are all looking like this, but it is still fresh and looking green. So after mixing it in, I covered the pot and let it simmer for more 5 minutes, and we are all done, guys. Look at that. All these things we are put together in I don't even think it was up to an hour. Because of the fuming and everything, I think it was more than 1 hour, but if I wasn't fuming it, 1 hour maximum is enough. And as you can see, I was cooking and cleaning at the same time. You see, my kitchen is very, very, very neat. Okay, I also washed the Ziploc bags because I'm going to be reusing them. So we are going to be putting this in our meal prep containers, and I ordered this from Amazon as well. I'm going to be leaving the link in the description of this video. You can see here I'm packing them from the sink. That is because I washed them a night before today that I'm making all these meals. You see, I stood more than 2 hours last night. I've said it before, I'm saying it again. It is not easy, but it's definitely worth it. So make sure you allow the food to cool down completely before portioning them. Okay, that is my advice. I didn't allow mine to cool down, but nothing happened after. Okay, nothing happened thereafter, but I'm just telling you in case. So after portioning all the meals, this is what they look like. Oh my goodness, it was very stressful, guys, but I was loving the end result. I was taking a whole bunch of pictures. If you are not following me on Instagram, well, I don't even know what you are waiting for, because I was posting a lot of pictures of this there because I love the pictures. So you can see these containers are stackable. You can just stack them up and pop them in your freezer or in your fridge, depending on how many days you're going to be eating the meals. That is it, guys. And before I go, I would like to taste the almighty brown rice that people have been shouting about. Well, the rice is not bad, but it doesn't give you that white rice feeling, okay? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in my next video.
I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much